Top 9 Tips for the US F1 Visa Interview. Embarking on your dream to study in the US? The F1 visa interview is the final hurdle. Be prepared with our tips. 1. Make a good first impression. When meeting your interviewer, making a great first impression can set the tone for the rest of the interview. Dressing formally, giving a strong handshake, and appearing confident are easy ways to start off the interview on the right foot. 2. Communicate clearly. Just like in any other setting, clear communication helps get your point across much more effectively. You should try and avoid filler words such as like or, and take your time when answering the questions. One great way to improve your communication is by having practice interviews with a friend or relative before your real interview. Ask them to take note of how often you use filler words, and to provide feedback on how you can communicate more clearly when answering questions. 3. Speak English. All F1 visa interviews are conducted in English. However, if English is not your native language, don't worry. You don't need to have the fluency level of a native English speaker, but you should be able to understand all of the questions without needing a translation. Again, it's okay to take your time while answering the questions. As long as the interviewer understands that your English level is high enough for your academic program and living in the US, you will still do fine without having perfect English pronunciation or fluency. 4. Be prepared. Although every interview is different, as stated above, there are two main things the interviewer wants to determine from the interview: your educational plans and financial support. Therefore, you should be prepared to answer student visa interview questions that pertain to these two topics, such as, how do you plan to pay for your living expenses, or, what do you plan to do after your educational program ends? Even though the US F1 visa interview questions are not the same for every interview, here are 65 student visa interview questions that will prepare you for what the interviewer will ask during your interview. Link to the 65 F1 interview questions content here. 5. Know your school and program. The interviewer will ask a few questions regarding the school and program you plan to attend. Since the program is the reason you are applying for the visa, you should be well informed about what program you are attending and how it will help you in your future career or educational goals. Some things to know are how long the program lasts, what you will be learning, what you plan to do with the knowledge you gain from the program, and why you chose that particular program to attend. Overall, think about why you chose to attend that program rather than one in your home country. 6. Prove your intent to return home. The F1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, so after the educational program ends, you must plan to return back to your home country. The interviewer will try to ensure that this is your plan by asking you questions about when you plan to return home and what you plan to do after your program. When answering these student visa interview questions, make sure to clearly communicate that you do not plan to stay in the US after your program ends. If you don't, this would disqualify you from the F1 visa. 7. Keep your answers precise and concise. Most visa interviews are extremely short, often under 5 minutes. Therefore, you want to keep your answers concise so that you have time to answer all of the questions. Again, practicing the interview beforehand can help with this. When you practice answering common interview questions beforehand, you will eliminate the time it takes for you to think of your answer and will increase the effectiveness of your answer. 8. Stay positive. Since there is so much riding on this interview, many applicants will overstress during the interview. This can make them look questionable and flustered. You should try to stay as positive as possible throughout your interview so that you appear polite, calm, and relaxed. Even if you feel like you made a mistake, stay positive. 9. Be honest. Your visa interviewer has likely given hundreds of interviews before and will know if you are being dishonest. You should never lie during your interview or fake any documents that you bring to the interview. Doing so will only increase your chance of denial. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.